Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the August 1st, 2016 informal County Commission meeting. I'm going to call the meeting to order. I'm going to step down to the podium. We have a presentation to give out. I'd like to call on Chief Jimmy Edwards, if he would, to please come forward. Oh, there you are. Thank you. Don't be sneaking up behind me like that anymore.
Mr. Truitt said I was quick. Good afternoon. A continuation of the good news that we shared with you last month is on June 24th, when Joshua Williams slipped below the surface of the Cumberland River and was rescued. I don't know if you recall, but we had the two Gibbons young men up here, and we had Dylan Williams up here as well that swam to him, and somebody grabbed him by the trousers and they pulled him to the boat dock. Tonight that we have someone with us, and this someone, if you would come on up, sir. This someone was actually with him as they were out on the boat dock. He began the CPR on Mr. Joshua Williams, providing life-saving CPR. And I've talked to him, and I've told him, I said, listen, this person was clinically dead when he reached you, and you saved his life along with the assistance of the folks that swam him over to the dock. So I want to say thank you so much, and the mayor has a couple of words for you.
Ashton, Jim Durrett. Unfortunately, as Chief alluded to, we just kind of bypassed Ashton last month, but I had a call from a relative, and I reached out to Ashton. I apologized to him, and so Ashton, tonight, just a little token of our appreciation to you. This is Montgomery County, Tennessee Lifesaver Award presented to Ashton Brown. On June 24, 2016, Ashton Brown helped save the life of a near-drowning victim, Joshua Williams. Ashton and three of his friends, Preston and Zachary Gibbons and Dylan Williams, were at Lockby South when they were made aware that someone fell into the water. Ashton and the other young men jumped into the water, swam approximately 400 yards to where the victim fell, retrieved the victim's body from the depths of the water, brought him to the surface, and immediately initiated CPR. And as Chief Edwards told you, Ashton was the one that did that until emergency responders arrived. Montgomery County applauds Ashton Brown for his unselfish and heroic actions which helped to save the life of Joshua Williams. And so, Ashton, I just want to say on behalf of Montgomery County, thank you. Appreciate you being who you are and what you did. Thank you very much. Well, I also have a county coin I'd like to present to you as well. Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. If y'all don't want to stay for the rest of this exciting meeting, you're welcome to leave as well. That's all right. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, we have one person who has asked to address the commission. I will call your name in just a second. I would just remind anyone when they address the commission that you have 3 minutes to speak. I'll give you a warning at around the 30-second mark. If you go over a little bit, that's okay, but if you go over a whole lot, we'll kind of have to ring the bell on you. Tonight, Mr. Tim Ewing has asked to speak to the commission regarding the animal control proposed regulations. Mr. Ewing, if you would, please come forward. If you don't mind, give us your address too, please, sir.
2915 Sarah Beth Court, Clarksville, 37043. First, I would like to thank the Budget and Animal Control Committees for taking a step back, taking a closer look at this proposal. The multiple pet license issue as written is a pet limit law, basically. According to the San Francisco SPCA, this is one of their conclusions. At the same time, the household limits discourage responsible individuals from providing a good home for more needy animals. They do not prevent an irresponsible one from acquiring unlimited animals. Unfortunately, caring can't be mandated, and a pet limit law will only end up punishing those who care. The proposal, as written, is a complete invasion of privacy. I've checked several other animal control ordinances. None of them allow animal control to go into a house and investigate it. If animal control has any proof that the home is unsafe or abuse or neglect is occurring, they can apply for a warrant and enter the property legally. This is completely unnecessary, needs to be removed. Some of the benefits we all hear about. One, it's the law. Yes, it is. We already have a license. The rabies license already collects all the relevant data we need. Two, it drastically improves the chance of getting animal back. If the animal has a collar on, which most cats do not. Microchipping is a much better option. It's a one-time fee and can be done at the same time you get your license for rabies. Three, license costs less than the fee of not having one. Already in place in the state law. You get fined if you don't get a rabies license. Four, lets people know vaccination is up to date. Again, that's what the rabies license is designed to do. Basically, we need all the information that the vets have put into one database so animal control can access it. Supports many local shelters. That is where the money from, by state law, the money from the license goes now. Needs to be increased. It hasn't been increased since it was originally brought about. Finally, the goal should be a reduction of animal deaths, not self-funding. An increase in funding will not necessarily lead to lower kill rates. A 2015 study showed 11 programs that actually encourage lower kill rates. Some of them are like volunteers. We have those. From what I understand in my research, we used to have a lot more, but difficulties dealing with animal control has reduced that. Same thing with rescue access. Many of the volunteers do that. And my vet has a rescue coordinator. Foster care needs to be encouraged, not discouraged. I've had situations where that has not happened. The trap neuter release program, it's not a good solution. It's the only one, the least offensive of those available. Public relations and community involvement. Our animal control has a significant issue with public relations at this time. When I was down there, I saw it. High volume, low cost spay neuter, proactive redemptions, and leadership. The study found that the difference between a low kill and a high kill shelters was not the size of the budget, but the commitment of leadership to find and implement options other than killing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, at this time, Dr. Ripple, do you want to come forward and present? We have two zoning cases tonight. Would you like to come forward and present both of those?
Absolutely.
I don't have those.
I need it switched over on the screen.
Boy, that was record time.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. There are two zoning cases here tonight. First zoning case is CZ11.
What's that? It's on this part of it.
My tab dropped out. This is the application of James Grimes, agent Billy Joe Thomas. This is a request to change the zoning from AG agricultural to C2 arterial highway commercial. The portion of the tract to be rezoned is 2 acres. It is located on the south side of Highway 149, east to Cunning View Road and west of Hematite Road. You'll probably be, more of you will be familiar with the fact that it is adjacent to the current Dollar General store. And the property in question is to the left of the Dollar General store. There is no C2 in the immediate area, but there is C1 adjacent to the left, being the Dollar General store. The land is currently vacant grassland. There were no concerns expressed by any of the agencies. A traffic assessment was done of the site that indicates that there is adequate sight distance for the entrance of the to the site, and there would be no issues relative to a driveway in and out of the site. There were no public questions. Billy Joe Thomas spoke for the applicant. They said they had a prospective buyer for a restaurant use, and they intended to use the site for retail and restaurant, and hope to serve the park, the new park down the street. There was no opposition, and both the staff and the Planning Commission recommended your favorable consideration. Are there any questions?
Any questions for Dr. Ripple on CZ 11, 2016? Commissioner Vallejos?
I just got a question on, I know we're going to have that gentleman roll in next week, probably talking about the loss of agricultural land. Has UT Extension Office ever done a study on the loss of the agricultural land? Has there ever been a study? I mean, I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm definitely somebody want to do the right thing and do something with that property. But I'm just asking because he'll roll around, and it'd be good if we give him an answer, that we are conscious of the land.
Every 5 years, there's an update to the agricultural census, and if you look at that information, it will define within that which is prime farmland versus from a national standpoint and from a state standpoint. It also identifies the amount of agricultural land that's lost each year. I think the most significant thing is to look at where the property is situated and whether or not is really agricultural land of national or statewide significance. So it is available, so that information.
Can you provide me with that information?
Yes, sir.
Before I can send it to him?
Dr. Ripple, if you'd just provide that to the entire commission,
Yes.
I think they would be appreciative of that. Thank you.
Absolutely. Any other questions?
Commissioner Arnold Hodges?
Dr. Ripple, what else could go on C2 property?
It's probably almost the widest range in terms of commercial uses that you could have, but typically any retail, office, restaurant use could be located there. What is excluded would be warehousing activities and used and motor vehicle sales. It could have a mini warehouse, even a self-service warehouse facility in the C2, but it's only 2 acres, so they're not rezoning their entire property. They're only rezoning a portion that is in front of the property. And if you caught the picture of the property, the eastern portion of the property is impaired by not only trees but also by topography. So even of the 2 acres, the western portion there begins steep slopes as it goes down. So even the 2 acres is not fully a level site that could be developed.
Thank you.
Commissioner Albert?
Thank you, Mayor. Just a clerical error. It says water source, East Montgomery. I don't know if that makes a difference on the reality of where they're getting the water or not.
Correct. East Montgomery County, the water source, and it would be served by septic, obviously.
Any other questions? All right, we'll hear Dr. Ripple's presentation on CZ 12, 2016, then we'll do a public hearing on both of these applications. So next is CZ 12, 2016, application of Mildred H. Plummer from AG to R1.
The agent is Jerry Plummer. This is a request to rezone from agricultural to R1. The property is located on the south side of Highway 76. It is just a little bit east of Little Hope Road across from the Living Hope Baptist Church. As you look at the picture here, the subject property is on to your right, and you're looking east on Highway 76. While there are sanitary sewers, gas, water lines in Highway 76, the sewer line is a force main, and it's more likely that they will put a septic on the site. The site is roughly 2 acres. It is about 3 times the size of adjoining lots on either side. And the typical lot yield from with the rezoning to R1 would be 2 lots. They already have 1 home on it. Potentially, depending on where the septic system may be, they might be able to get a 3rd lot. They've got adequate frontage. Even if they were to create 3 lots out of this, they would be similar in size to 30,000 square foot lots that are to the west and the east, and to the residential area to the southeast, which is zoned R1, and that's the reason they chose the R1. There were no agencies that expressed any concerns. There were no comments from the public. Jerry Plummer spoke for the applicant, and the Planning Commission and staff recommended your favorable consideration. Are there any questions?
Any questions of Dr. Ripple? How many acres did you say it was?
2 acres.
2 acres.
So probably under the R1, they could break it up potentially into 3 different lots, but 3/4 of an acre each, 30,000 square feet, and that would be comparable to other lots on either side. And the reason I say it would be that many lots is because it's likely to be on septic. There's a force main on the north side of Highway 76, but I think it would be cost prohibitive to tie into a force main across 76.
Any questions? Commissioner Harper?
Yes. Thank you, Mayor. Dr. Ripple, the subdivision that's behind or kind of triangulated behind, they have access to sewer?
They're 30,000 square foot lots. I can't answer that specifically. I suspect they're on septic. I think Commissioner Riggins could answer the question.
Commissioner Riggins?
It's partially served by sewer, partially by septic.
And the bordering lots on either side are
Septic.
all septic,
And I
correct?
believe the lots that are the closest to this in that subdivision are likewise on septic, because the lots are greater than 30,000 square feet.
Okay. And this is in my district, and I've received no calls on it whatsoever, so just FYI.
Thank you, Commissioner Harper. Any other questions of Dr. Ripple? Thank you, Dr. Ripple.
Thank you, sir.
At this time, we're going to go into public hearing to hear 2 zoning cases. I would remind anyone that would like to come forward and speak, if you would, I will call for anyone in favor and anyone in opposition of both zoning cases. If you would, please state your name and your address and limit your comments to 3 minutes. The first case is CZ 11-2016, application of James A. Grimes from AG to C2. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on behalf of this zoning request? Anyone to speak on behalf? Is there anyone to speak in opposition to CZ 11-2016? Going to our next case, CZ 12-2016, application of Mildred H. Plummer from AG to R1. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on behalf of CZ 12-2016? Anyone in the audience that would like to speak in opposition to CZ 12-2016? All right, our public hearing is now closed. Thank you, Dr. Ripple.
Evening.
Next on our agenda are our resolutions. Our first resolution is Resolution 1681. This is a resolution to adopt the 2015-16 home programs, policies, and procedures for Montgomery County, Tennessee. Chief Truitt, do you want to speak to this briefly?
Sure. Thank you, Mayor. This is a change to our policies and procedures for the home grant. Changes Section 10. What it does is gives an additional 10 points value in the selection process to the elderly and disabled. It will just give us the opportunity to open up this grant to more participants.
Any questions on 16.8.1? All right, 16.8.2 is a resolution to accept grant funding for Montgomery County Animal Care and Control through PetSmart Charities. Ms. Farrell, do you want to speak on behalf of that? And while you're up here, if you would, you can just speak on behalf of 16.8.3 as well. These are both grants, non-matching grants, but I'll let Ms. Farrell tell you a little bit more about them.
The first grant is an unrestricted grant through PetSmart Charities. They awarded us $7,650 for spaying and neutering animals in the community. The second grant is through the state of Tennessee Spay and Neuter license plate program. They also, this is a program that we did last year, and we made it again this year for the grant, and they awarded us $2,500 for spaying and neutering.
Any questions for Ms. Farrell on 16.8.2 or 16.8.3? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Resolution 16.8.4 is a resolution to authorize a joint venture's participation in the Tennessee Consolidated Retirement System in accordance with TCA Title 8, Chapters 34 and 37. Mr. Harvey, would you want to explain this to the commission
I will, Mayor.
briefly?
Yes. The previously the Bi-County Solid Waste employees and Montgomery County employees were listed as one entity for TCRS purposes. The state of Tennessee wishes to separate that, believes it should have been separated, and so their proposal for separation is to authorize for us to authorize Bi-County Solid Waste to act as a governmental entity and therefore enter TCRS as a separate entity. And so they would be treated separately as of September 1st. They have to pass it. Stewart County has to pass it. But it's for purposes of just allowing them to allocate their own employee retirement plans separately. Should not change anything about our retirement plan. They'll just be an independent participant in TCRS as opposed to jointly with Montgomery County.
Thank you. Commissioner Harper.
Thanks, Mayor. I think there was some question in the Budget Committee about the eligibility of part-time employees that we brought up.
The plan that Montgomery County passed is still the plan for Montgomery County. That will be the same plan for Bi-County Solid Waste going in. They will be a separate entity thereafter. So just as changes could be made in the future, they can be made, but we'll go in with the same status that we have right now. Doesn't change your Montgomery County employee status.
Does that answer your question?
Not really.
Mr. Swat,
Further
do
muddied
you
it
want to
for
try
me.
to answer that a little bit better?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Briefly.
The question was that part-time eligibility for Bi-County?
Yes.
Okay, under the current plan we currently have right now effective, part-time employees are eligible to participate in the plan. Going forward with the new hybrid plan, they will not be allowed to.
That's what I thought. So shouldn't the language in this resolution reflect the ongoing language? And
I would think the resolution should mirror our current plan.
And I believe it does mirror our current plan, doesn't it?
no, it does not, based on what?
The eligibility of part-time employees, the joint venture shall allow its part-time employees to participate in TCRS. We do have part-time employees participating in TCRS. And the change that you're discussing has to do with persons who become part-time employees after a certain orientation date, correct?
Correct.
So we still have part-time employees who are participating on the same basis as he did before. Your change had to do with new hires. Did you think your change was otherwise than new hires?
I don't know if we're answering.
No, I understood what the new hires would be.
But currently, right now, under our current plan, that what they call the legacy plan, part-time employees are eligible to participate. Going forward in the new plan, the hybrid plan, part-time employees will not be allowed to participate.
That's correct, new hires.
But correct me if I'm wrong, but part-time employees that were participating under the legacy plan will be moved over from county general to by county, correct?
Correct.
And they will continue to be able to participate. No new part-time employees will be allowed to participate.
That's correct.
Does that answer your question?
It does, but I think the resolution needs perhaps to clarify that a little better.
Okay.
Are you talking about Section D?
Yes.
All right. I'll be happy to propose an amendment for you to bring, Commissioner, and I'll get it to you so you can do that.
I would appreciate that.
Sure.
That's great.
You just want to clarify it a little bit.
Yes, that's all. That's all.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I'm sorry. Commissioner Nichols, Tim, you might want to just stay up there too. Maybe both Tims.
Yes, Tim, please stay. My question is kind of twofold. What's the purpose of this resolution and what's the benefit? And the benefit is for whom? The bi-county employee that gets to stay in a retirement system even though they're part-time?
There's really, I don't say a benefit for anyone. It's just something that the TCRS has requested us to do, to separate the two entities from bi-county. They're going to be a standalone entity now, and Montgomery County government will be a standalone.
I understand it, but the state requested that.
Correct.
Is that clear? Okay.
That is correct.
If I can tell you, it is to correct a problem the state recognizes in multiple entities like this who are joint ventures. Has nothing to do with anything other than the state says we're not booking it correctly in TCRS.
Got it.
I mean, you got this as soon as you came on, didn't you?
Pardon me?
Didn't this come about just soon after you became county attorney? One of the first things you were asked to look at?
Yes,
And
they've been
working
looking
on
at it. They've been looking at this from the state since 2014 and have been trying to come up with a way to separate these orderly, and they've just now come up with this plan. And this resolution was prepared by the TCRS folks, and I did meet with them and I did review it, but its sole purpose is because the state believes that they should never have grouped us together as one single grouping for TCRS purposes.
Thank you.
Any other questions of Mr. Harvey or Mr. Swall? All right, gentlemen, thank you both. I know y'all both put a lot of work into that too as well, so I thank you for the effort that you put into it. Resolution 1685 is a resolution supporting the Industrial Development Board of Montgomery County in support of its industrial development efforts. Mr. Evans, do you want to come forward and briefly talk about this just a little bit?
Yes, sir. Be glad to. I'll do it briefly.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. This resolution is seeking assistance in funding grants that we have applied for to develop the 1,166 acres of property we have acquired within the last 24 months in total. So I'd like to first remind you that we have been able to assemble 1,166.7 acres of industrial property to a cost of Montgomery County of a total thus far of $2,394,208. If you all recall, back in December, you passed a resolution to enter into a promissory note with Hemlock Semiconductor to purchase the last 300 acres with a 0% interest. So, pretty good deal. What we're asking you all to do now is to give us some funding
to match two grants. One of them we have been awarded by the state of Tennessee. We have isolated, or not isolated, the property has isolated about 72 acres of trees on the site that need to be eliminated before they become an obstacle for someone to develop. Today we have Indiana bats and long gray ear bats that like to inhabit in areas and call it theirs when it's not really theirs. And that's a simplistic way of saying that, not an environmentally way of saying that. We have done all of the due diligence and testing, and there are no evidence of the Indiana bats or the long gray-eared bats. So it would be to our advantage to go ahead and take the trees down so that if we, or not if, when we get a client that wants this property, it would not delay the development of the site. And it is possible it could delay 6 to 8 months of time. So that's number one grant. The state has awarded us, our projected cost is $424,528, and the state would grant half of that, $212,264. And we will send that out to bid. The bid package is virtually prepared and ready to be advertised and bid upon in the near future. But we need to secure the half match. The second grant that we have applied for is through the Tennessee Valley Authority's Invest Prep program, where they help communities develop sites. And what we are looking to do there is to build a 12,160 linear foot access road that would allow us in good weather and not so good weather to be able to show the property without having a tow truck pulling us out of mud holes and stuff. So we basically are going to go in, grade down, and put in a gravel base road bed so that we can get into the center of the property and show the property to the clients. And that estimate's $161,000, and so we would be getting a grant for $90,600, and we would need a match for that. So the total ask is for about $302,938. And I guess the other footnote in the resolution is we have negotiated and entered into a verbal agreement without the lawyers agreeing to everything yet, so we're waiting on the signed document. But we feel confident that we have leased the 1136 Dunlop Lane building that we acquired a couple of years ago. The industrial board agreed to fund the interest for the first 2 years, and then the county would take that interest obligation over for the next 3. And the industrial board, with this negotiated lease, would be relieving the county of that obligation. We would just roll that into our lease, and we'll fund it that way. So,
That's
seeking your help.
$129,850.
Okay.
That was in our budget for that this year.
So I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Any questions of Mr. Evans? Commissioner Vallejos.
All right, thank you, Mayor. I got 2 questions. First, I guess directed to Jeff, where we plan to, should this pass, where will we plan to pull this money out of?
It'll come out of the fund balance.
What's our fund balance at now?
It's well over 29 million, hold on.
Quick, brother.
Maybe quicker than that.
And then Mike, as he's looking, talk to us about that building right across the street, the one we, I think a couple of years back, we're talking about leasing it to a business to move in right across the street from the one we own on Dunlop Lane.
Yes, sir.
What's in there now?
Right now, it's still vacant, but that is the building that I'm talking about that we have negotiated a lease.
Yeah, well, we talked a couple of years ago of leasing that to somebody to move in there back when, and so nobody ever moved into it?
We had a short-term provider. That was Rudolph Transfer when they had damage to their facility because of the ice damming in the winter of 2014.
Two winters ago.
2014.
2 winters ago.
So now, who's maintaining the maintenance of the building and?
The industrial board, along with the help of Montgomery County Maintenance, has been maintaining them. But basically, it's been empty, the lights off.
Well, you know, like any building that sits empty and that's on our note, I think you got to maintain. So you're saying there's a continuous maintenance going on? of the building?
Minor maintenance work has been done to the building. We have to winterize it during the winter. We basically have left the water out of the lines. There's been very minimal cost when nobody was in it, and the industrial board has been funding that through our operations.
All right, thank you. Jeff?
32.
Say again?
32.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Any other questions of Mr. Evans? Mike, I'm not going to ask you a question that's not related to this, but it somewhat is. Is there much activity on this site where this access road and the tree removal is, where this grant, I know you can't
Yes,
tell us
sir.
a lot, but.
Yeah, I can tell you that within the last 3 weeks, we've had 2 clients, consultants representing clients on the site reviewing the property. We have been notified by one of those 2 projects that we are one of the finalist states in Tennessee, and that would require about 163 acres. The other looker is looking for 300 plus or minus acres. And we have had a tremendous amount of feedback and questions, minor questions, from them since their visit. So we are in conversation. So that's usually a pretty good sign that they'll be back to at least look again with the client, hopefully.
Good deal. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, next on our agenda are the mayor's nominations and appointments. Our first of all, we have our nominations, Building and Codes Committee. Arnold Hodges has been filling an unexpired term, is now eligible to serve his first full 3-year term to expire August 2019, and Garland Johnson has been filling an unexpired term, is now eligible to serve his first full 3-year term to expire August 2019. Under the appointments, under Building and Codes International Board of Appeals, this is a 5-year term. Brad Martin and Mark Cook appointed to serve another 5-year term as alternate members, term to expire July 2021. And unfortunately, these 2 appointments were omitted from July's appointments. And the Montgomery County Fair Board, this is something that our Rules Committee, through their work, recreated. 2-year term, Condra Smalley appointed to serve a 2-year term to expire August 2018. Jerry Albert appointed to serve a 2-year term to expire August 2018. Mark Riggins appointed to serve a 2-year term to expire 2018. Steve Gursky appointed to serve a 2-year term to expire August 2018. And John Gannon appointed to serve a 2-year term to expire August 2018. Next on our agenda are our reports filed. You can see those listed. Our Highway Department, our 2016 county road list will need approval next Monday night. Any old business before the commission? None that I know of. One announcement, just a reminder to save the date. The TCCA annual regional meeting will be held on September 1 at Paris Landing State Park. More details to follow on that. And just 2 quick notes. Today is Jerry Buchanan's birthday. Jerry, happy birthday to you. And yesterday was Commissioner Ed Baggett's birthday. So Ed, happy belated birthday to you. Any other questions, comments from the commissioners? Commissioner Vallejo, oh, I'm sorry, you didn't push your button. Okay.
Easy, Tiger.
All right. Thank y'all, and we'll see y'all next Monday night. Just a reminder, we're back at regular time at 6 o'clock.